My entire album just got pulled off of Spotify due to artificial streams on one track. Now, I have never paid for any type of playlisting service ever. I've never paid for any bot playlists. I don't use any bots. The problem is literally no artist has control over whose playlists we get placed on, right? So I get placed on a bunch of random playlists. People add my music to their playlists. So this is the email I got from Distrokid yesterday. It says, alert, your music has been removed by Spotify due to artificial streaming activity. By the way, I've never heard of this happening to anybody on any other distributor besides Distrokid. But if you know anything different, please add information in the comments. Please comment if you've heard of this happening to anybody on TuneCore, on any other distributor. But so far I've only heard of this happening to people on Distrokid. So it says, hi Lena, Spotify has detected that the majority of streams on some of your tracks were artificially streamed. As a result, Spotify has removed the releases containing those tracks from the streaming service. Okay, so I noticed that one of my tracks, so this couldn't have happened with my tracks that are more popular because they have a lot more streams in general. So it couldn't have, the bot couldn't have taken up a large majority of streams. However, these playlisting services actually target indie artists and tracks that have fewer streams. So I believe this particular track had over 1,000 streams, but not that many streams. So what they do, and this one, I remember what it was called. It was called waiver.ai, I think. And it's actually not even there anymore. Like I went into Spotify for artists and that playlist doesn't exist anymore. So it's really sketchy. But they added me without my knowledge or consent. They blew up the streams of one track. Meanwhile, there are tons of other tracks on that album that are popular that people actually listen to and add to their own playlist. This particular track hasn't really gotten out there as much. But so they put it on there for a day to 3 days in the hopes that you're gonna contact them and buy placement on the playlist. But they don't ask you first. They don't say, hey, can I put this song on this playlist? I would have obviously said no if I knew that it was artificial streams. But what's really fucked up is if this is Spotify or whether it's DistroKid, they're not taking into account the fact that we have zero power over who puts our songs onto playlists. Anybody can put my song on any playlist. And this is really only happening to smaller indie artists because it can only happen when your song doesn't have as many streams already. Bigger artists have a bunch of bot plays, but it doesn't register as a problem in the system because they have a bunch of real plays as well. So again, for my more popular tracks, this couldn't have happened, but they targeted one of my smaller tracks. But what's fucked up is Spotify literally doesn't inquire, DistroKid doesn't inquire. They literally, no warning, take your entire album that contains that one track with artificially inflated streams and they just take it off. They don't ask you, they don't go through any type of due process to even prove that you used artificial streams, that you paid for that. I think they should have to investigate and they should have to actually prove that you paid for the artificial streams because like I said, anybody can put your track onto any playlist. So this is something that I suggest for Spotify. I think that you should flag the playlists that artificially pump up streams for 1 to 3 days. And if it stops after 3 days, then you should know that this is what these playlists do. Most of those artists have zero knowledge or consent. They didn't give any consent for their song to be on that playlist. So if somebody knows somebody that works at Spotify, could you please send this video to them so that they're aware of this problem? Because indie artists should not have their music just removed, no questions asked, for something that's literally zero fault of their own. That's totally not okay. So if anybody has any advice on any recourse, If you guys could please blow up this post, please like it, share it with people, and send it to anybody who works at Distrokid as well. That would be helpful. I'm thinking of switching distributors. I'm wondering if I can upload the album with the same ISRC code on a different distributor and have it be fine. I'm not sure. But yeah, please raise awareness about this, because we have zero power over who adds our songs to their playlists. And it's the fault of these playlists that are running this scam. It's not our fault. But indie artists, like, we tend to not have a lot of legal representation. Like, I don't have a fancy music lawyer to be dealing with this. All I have are like a few supporters and stuff. So if you have any advice as to what I should do about this, or any connections to any legal counsel or anything, or anybody who works at Spotify or DistroKid, let me know. And yeah, I might want to switch distributors because of this, and we'll see. Also, if you want to buy my vinyl or buy my album, that would be awesome, because then you'll actually have the album to keep. You won't run the risk of it being taken down from where you're listening, and you'll actually own it, and you can listen without any internet or anything like that. So anybody who's buying my CDs or vinyl, you're gonna automatically get the full download to the album as well as the instrumental album, all 18 tracks of both. So yeah, if you want to support me, you can do that. And yeah, if you have any advice, just let me know. And thank you guys so much for your support. This is fucking terrible, but yeah, I just wanted to raise awareness because this has been happening to a lot of artists.